Gas prices, they have been slowly creeping down for about a month.
Yes, but they're still a lot higher than they were at this time last year. So as of yesterday, the national average price was $4.63 a gallon, according to AAA. It was $4.77 in New York, $4.68 in New Jersey, and $4.60 in Connecticut.
So what's going on? Should we even argue with this trend? Let's find out from Patrick Haan. He is the chief petroleum analyst at GasBuddy. He has been our buddy breaking down this entire gasoline situation. Patrick, welcome. We're glad to have you on a bit of good news here on the gas front.
Yeah, thanks for bringing me back. Finally, I have some better news to share, Vanessa. Hazel, it's great to be with you. We're down about 30 cents a gallon in the last month. Gasoline and diesel prices are showing a remarkable turnaround. In fact, the average price of diesel, which is more of a consumer, a staple of the economy rather, is about to fall back under $6 a gallon in New York. And as you point out, we're still quite a bit above where we were last year. But for the foreseeable future, next 1 to 2, 3 weeks, we could see gas prices falling, barring things like a hurricane.
Right. So what's behind it? What's behind the decline?
Well, a lot of it continues to be jitters over the economy, an economic slowdown potentially, the Fed raising interest rates a month ago by the biggest amount in decades. Obviously, yesterday's CPI report was very hot, likely to call the Fed to raise interest rates yet again. The concern is that's going to slow down the economy and slow down oil demand.
And how long can we expect to see this decline?
Well, like I said, I think barring those unforeseeable refinery kinks, major hurricanes, this could go on for 2, 3, even 4 weeks. In fact, if nothing else changes, and by the way, I have to highlight the volatility of the price of oil has been very high this year because of the multitude of factors that are weighing on markets, and economic slowdown, Russia's invasion of Ukraine. There's just so many things feeding into it that it could go on for many weeks, barring one of those just unforeseeable events. I know everyone likes to think that there's a crystal ball that can tell us the future, but not so much. But enjoy it because it should continue.
Yeah, well, so the president's been talking about easing gasoline taxes. How much could that actually affect the prices?
Well, you know, one has to think with prices falling, is Congress going to get its act together and do this? Obviously, President Biden wanted them to waive the federal gas tax of 18 cents a gallon, but there's really been no movement on that. If it were to happen, it would likely cause prices to go down by 15 to 18 cents a gallon. It would just be a matter of time. But as we stand today, I think New York prices could go down another 25 to 50 cents a gallon in the next 3 weeks or so. Like I said, barring one of those unforeseeable events.
We'll take whatever we can get.
Listen, fingers crossed.
Right.
Patrick, what is going on right now with the oil coming out of the ground? Is there enough refinery capacity post-pandemic to handle all of it?
Well, that's a great question. There hasn't been, and that's why diesel prices specifically had surged earlier this year, because we've lost about 1 million barrels a day in refining capacity. So that has been a point of contention. And that's why hurricanes this year could have a much more profound impact. If we see a hurricane, the biggest concern really is, will it impact oil production and will it shut down refineries? So those are the things to look for.
So I have a question about this. So some people say that going green and alternative energy affects the gas prices. And if we continue to worry so much about it, that it's going to make things worse. Is there any truth to that at all?
Well, you know, the president's been concentrating on pushing us down that road, but the collateral damage is that when the president says, okay, we're going to move this way and away from fossil fuels, that the oil industry is not, you know, who's going to invest in that climate? Who's going to sink billions of dollars into raising U.S. production for the here and now, when 5, 10 years down the road, the president wants to move away from that? And that's the point of contention here.
All right, Patrick Haan, Chief Petroleum Analyst for GasBuddy. Thank you so much for being with us and imparting a bit of optimism on the gas front.
So we'll enjoy the next 3 weeks.
Thanks, Vanessa and Hazel.
Keeping our fingers crossed.